Okay. Hi, Kim. You could see I'm in a new space. I brought you to a different part of my house to try to avoid the clock making random sounds during class. So I moved all my furniture so that I had space here. I'm going to be a little bit in shadow, um, but it's okay because you could still see the silhouette of my body. You don't really need to see my face. And for the most part, you're probably just listening anyway. Um, so yeah, I'm going to be a little bit in shadow, but that should be fine. So this class is going to be a lower body strengthening class. It's going to be all about control and balance. So we're actually going to get right into the sequence. It's going to start standing. If you need to do a little bit of stretching before this video starts, I would recommend just warming up any parts of your body that are tight. And then you're going to have your 2 blocks at the top of your mat on the tallest height. And then you're going to stand maybe a foot or two away from the top of your mat in mountain pose, feet hip distance apart. And you can even start by rocking forward and back on the feet. So shifting weight into the heels and lifting your toes, and then shifting weight into the toes and maybe lifting your heels. And you could do this slowly or quickly, just starting to feel that shift in weight. And just do that maybe one more time, forward and back. And then bringing the soles of your feet flat to the ground. And then just start to shift weight to the inner arch of your foot and the outer arch of your foot. And this is pronation and supination. Keep going, inner arch, outer arch, just alternating, maybe slowly for this one. So this is not a recommended way to stand on your feet, but it's a good way to warm up the ankles, the shins, to just start to feel the surface area of your foot. And then place your whole entire foot flat on the ground. Maybe wiggle the toes a little bit. You could maybe scrunch the toes a little bit just so you can feel your feet grounded. With balancing poses, it becomes really important to recognize your feet. And then just give a little bend to the knee. Maybe get a little cracks and pops in the knees and the ankles. And then once you feel nice and grounded in the legs, bring your hands to heart center. You could close your eyes and just have your head resting on top of your spine. Don't worry too much about your legs. Don't worry too much about your core just yet. And just take 3 mindful breaths right here. Just noticing the soles of your feet grounded into the earth. And then from here, you're going to activate the legs a little bit more. So maybe firm your quads slightly without hyperextending so that your kneecap becomes a little bit more lifted onto the leg. Squeeze your glutes, pull your belly button in and up, and feel this nice lift through the crown of your head as your shoulder blades slide down your back. You could also, if it helps you, think of softening your front ribs towards your lower hip points as you lift your back ribs towards the sky. Reach your arms low, Tadasana mountain pose, energy through the fingers, reaching to the floor. And with your hyperextension, you might keep a tiny bend in the knee rather than locking the legs out completely. And then inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, maybe palms connect, gaze up towards your thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. Exhale, hands lower to heart center. Last time, inhale, sweep the arms up. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms away from your head. Get tall, inhale, and then side bend to the right, exhale. Let your hips shift to your left. Push into your left foot as you press your left wrist away from you. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, side bend to the left. Push into your right foot as you lengthen the right side of your body. Squeeze your navel in, firm your glutes. Inhale, come up to center, separate the hands. Exhale, dive forward, bend the knees like a rag doll. Forward fold, maybe a little sway side to side. Inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold around your spine, look towards your knees. Inhale, rise up, feel the weight stacking in your legs and feet, reach the arms overhead. Back bend, cactus the arms. Exhale, open the chest, hips go forward, spread the chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, dive over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway, grab your blocks. Exhale, low lunge, left foot goes behind you. So we're just right into our low lunge, right foot grounded in the mat. If it feels good, you can kind of rock forward and back a couple times, stretching out your left toes and the ball of your left foot, or I should say the arch of your left foot. And maybe just stay here for one more breath and start to find that nice grounded low lunge. So your right knee is directly stacked on top of your right ankle. You're using the blocks. Let's turn them at the highest height. Palms flat, fingertips facing forward. I want you to start to activate now. So we're going to slide the shoulders away from the ears, squeeze your glutes, reach through your left leg to the back, ground down into your right foot in the front, and then pull your navel to your spine. Feel this nice long diagonal line. You might even press to the tips of your fingers to get a little higher off your blocks. And then bring your hands to heart center and hold. So we're going to start to strengthen here. So you're in a low lunge. Your spine is creating a diagonal from the crown of your head to your left heel. Keep your hips square by gently drawing that right hip back. Firm your glutes, firm your thighs close to each other. Let's stay for one more breath. Isometric hold. And then bring your hands back down to the blocks. From here, we're going to move the blocks, take a vinyasa. So hands to the floor for plank. Send your right foot back. Chaturanga, bend the elbows. You can come to low cobra on this first one. Just roll your shoulders back, belly's on the floor. Rise the heart. And then exhale, come down, make your way to downward dog. You could pass through tabletop and then tuck the toes, or you could come through plank and come to down dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Freedom to pedal out the legs a little bit if that feels good, if you need to warm up the backs of your legs. And after this last breath, we're going to take a 3-legged dog. So you'll walk the feet a little bit closer to center, spread the palms, really ground down through your hands, sweep your right leg in the air, and then stack the hip, bend your right leg. Keep your shoulders square as your right hip opens. Maybe circle your right ankle. And then we're going to straighten the right leg, square the hips, step it all the way through to low lunge again. So right foot comes all the way through. And then from here, dragonfly twist. Left hand stays down, right arm peels open. So you might get a stretch in the glute. You're balancing on that left arm, lengthening your neck, spreading across the collarbones. Look up at your right thumb. And then exhale, bring your right hand down, frame your right foot. And we're going to step the back foot all the way to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, sweep the arms overhead. Add the back bend, exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up, look forward. Dive forward, exhale. Lift halfway, inhale. Hands to blocks, low lunge, left foot stays, right foot goes back. So you could start with that little bit of rocking motion, forward and back, stretching out the arch of your right foot, the calf, the hamstring. And then when that feels good, settle into your lunge. So left knee is stacked right on top of the left ankle. You have your hands on the blocks, maybe on the highest height. And we're going to pull the belly button to the spine. Squeeze your glutes, lengthen through your right leg as you kind of reach back through that right leg. And at the same time, reach forward through your spine and the crown of your head. Maybe come onto the tips of your fingers so you start to get lifted out of your left hip. Push down into your left heel, squeeze your glutes, hands to heart center, and hold. So your gaze is kind of on the diagonal. So you're not looking forward necessarily. You kind of have this looking far away onto the floor. We're going to hold for 2 more breaths. Isometric hold. Maybe pull that left hip back as you press out of that hip. Instead of compressing, pull your belly button to spine. Hands to the blocks. And then hands to the floor to plank. Left leg goes back. Take a vinyasa. Chaturanga. You can come to low cobra or upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. In and out through the nose. push into your palms. You have the freedom to pedal out the legs or to bend your knees and hold your down dog with your knees a little bent, whatever feels good. And then we're going to sweep the left leg up, three-legged dog. So straighten the right leg, sweep the left leg up, stack the hips, bend your left knee, square your shoulders. So keep that left shoulder down. Getting a big stretch in your right hamstring. Circle the left ankle maybe. And then we're going to straighten the legs, square the hips, low lunge. Left foot comes all the way through. If you need to, you could pass through tabletop to get here. Dragonfly twist. Right hand stays down, left arm peels open. Look at your left thumb. Feel that nice balance on your right arm. Sole of your left foot connected to the mat. Exhale, come down. Right foot steps to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Sweep your arms overhead. And on the exhale, hands to heart center. Look straight ahead. We're going to keep going a little bit here. Sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. You could use the blocks again. Low lunge. Right foot stays. Left foot goes back. Square your hips. Find that nice diagonal lift through your spine. And then we're going to come to high lunge. So starting to balance here. You have 2 feet on the ground, but it's asymmetrical. So it takes a little bit of core support, pelvic floor engagement, squeezing the glutes. Set your gaze straight ahead of you. And then we're going to add a twist. So pull your belly button in and up, firm the legs, firm the glutes. Inhale, get tall. And then exhale, twist to your right. Open your arms nice and wide like a T. And then wrap your right arm behind your back and your left arm to the outside of your right knee. Push your palm into your knee so that you could twist a little further to the right. This should also benefit your right shoulder. It's a nice big stretch when you're in a half bind. So your spine is twisted, but your hips are square. Use your core engagement and your glute engagement to keep you steady. And then from here, we might come right into a dragonfly twist. So keep your right arm where it is. Reach your left arm, look towards the floor, and you could bring that left hand to the block or to the mat. Keep your right arm behind your back. Twist your chest to the right. So it's like a modified dragonfly twist with a bind. And then from here, bring your right hand back to the block. You can even out your blocks. We're going to step to the left, maybe take the blocks with you, Prasarita Padottanasana. So you're pivoting your body. All 10 toes point to the left side of your mat with or without the blocks. So you can have your hands on the floor or on the blocks. And then we're going to walk the hands back. You could take the blocks with you in line with your toes, palms flat, fingers pointing forward, and try to bend the elbows so you could get your head towards the floor and your tailbone to the sky. Here, you're going to activate the quads so that you start to firm the quads and kind of pull your kneecap up on your leg. Press into the pinky toe sides of your feet and shift a little bit weight forward towards the balls of your feet. So we're feeling how the legs are very active. You're squeezing your glutes, pulling your belly button to your spine. And then we're going to walk it back out to a flat back. So elbows are going to straighten, wrists are under your shoulders. We're going to kind of prepare for Skandasana. So turn your toes out like a really wide lunge, or I should say like a wide squat. Heels are a little bit turned in, toes are a little bit turned out. And you could use your blocks to support you. Start to bend a little into your right knee. You don't have to go that far. And then straighten the right knee and bend over to the left knee. And you can kind of walk your blocks over to the left as your weight transfers to the left. And then come back to the middle. Do that again to the right. And then do that again to the left. This time we're going to keep going. Take your blocks with you. Pivot to the back of your mat. Low lunge with your left foot in front. So all 10 toes move and face the back of your mat. Hips are square. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Come up to stand. Hands to heart center. We're going to do this all on the left leg, starting with low lunge. Sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Low lunge with the left foot forward. So right toes go back. Low lunge. You can have your blocks high or low, whatever you prefer. And then we're going to come to high lunge. So use your core, use your glutes, rise the arms, shoulders over hips, square the hips, pull your belly in and up, nice engagement. And then we're going to inhale, get a little taller, and then exhale, twist to the left, open your arms like a T, wrap your left arm behind you, half bind, right arm to the outside of your left knee, and your palm can face your knee so you can push into the knee. Squeeze your glutes, keep your hips square, but rotate your spine. Nice big stretch in your left shoulder. This is going to turn into dragonfly twist. So right arm is going to reach for the floor or a block, palm flat, and then twist your chest to the left. You could look to the left or look to the ceiling. Reach back through your right heel so that leg is active. Left hand comes down, come out of your dragonfly twist, hands on both blocks, and then turn everything to your right, back to that forward fold with straight legs. And then maybe this time you try it without the blocks, if you can. We're going to turn the heels in and the toes out, bend the left knee. Maybe if you can, come all the way into Skandasana. So this is like a half squat. So your right foot is flexed, toes are pointing to the sky, heel is on the ground, and you're trying to get your left heel to the floor. And then you push into that left leg to straighten it, and then bend into the right knee carefully. If this is challenging, only go as low as you can, or use the blocks the same way we did the first time to support you. And then you're going to push down into that right leg to slide over to the left. We're just going to do this one more time. Push down into the left foot so you can come over to the right side. We're going to turn this into lunge, so maybe blocks with you. Right lunge, low lunge to the front of your mat. So your whole body's rotating to face square to the front of your mat. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, release your arms. Okay, now from here, let's feel the feet again. We can move our blocks so they're out of the way. Coming into a little bit of a balance. You could stay facing the way you are. I'll face the camera just so you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to just really simple, look straight ahead, shift weight into your right foot. Squeeze your right glute, and then just lift your left heel off the floor. Your left toes can stay on the floor. Pull your belly in, hands to hips. And then you're simply going to bend your left knee about 90 degrees and balance on your right leg. Single leg balance. Pull your navel in, lift tall through your spine. Feel maybe that your ankle is wiggling, your shin is getting active here, but feel the whole entire sole of your right foot rooted in the earth. And then lower the left foot down. Shift weight immediately into the left foot. Pop your right heel up. You could keep your right toes down first. Just start to get really rooted in that left foot. Squeeze your left glute. And when you're ready, lift the right leg so your knee is about in line with your hip. And just stay here a couple breaths. And then we're going to lower the right foot, 2 feet on the ground. Okay, so that was your single leg balance with your hips neutral. And we're going to take like a little fun sequence connecting a Shiva squat into that balance using our arms, kind of like how you walk or run, you have opposite arm as leg. So first, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep your arms back. And then cross your left leg behind your right leg. So you're taking like a little curtsy squat. You're going to have just your left toes on the ground and your left heel is lifted and all the weight is in your right foot. Flat back, belly button to spine. You want your thighs to connect. And then step the left foot forward, inhale, sweep the arms up to stand. Exhale, sweep them back, bend the knees, halfway lift with your back, and then cross your right thigh behind your left thigh, like you're taking a little curtsy. So this is your Shiva squat. Left knee is bent. And then step your right foot forward, sweep the arms up to stand, hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to do that and connect it to our Ekapada balance. So we're going to do a single leg balance going from a bent knee to a straight knee. So we'll do this together. So starting with our Shiva squat, sweep the arms up, inhale. Exhale, sweep them back, step your left foot behind your right foot so that your thighs are crossing. We're just going to start by floating the left foot off the ground. So this is going to force you to balance on one leg with your right knee bent. And then you can let your toes touch the ground again. And then float the toes up. And then bring them down. And then this time, you're going to press into your right leg, straighten your right leg as you bend your left knee towards your chest, bend your right elbow, and left arm back. Maybe we come right back into the Shiva squat. Switch your arms, left leg goes back, tap your toes. And then come back up, straighten the right leg, bend your left knee up, bend your right elbow forward. One more time, send the left leg behind you, cross your thighs, left toes tap the ground. And then let's come to stand, left foot next to the right, sweep the arms up. Exhale, Shiva squat. So step your right thigh behind your left thigh. You're looking to the ground, halfway lift, reaching your fingers back behind you. Float your right toes up off the ground. So you're balancing on your left foot. And then bring your right toes back down. And do that again. Float the toes up so you're balancing on one leg. And then bring the toes down. And then we're going to keep going. Push down into the left knee, straighten the leg, bend your right knee up. Your left arm can bend forward like you're running. And then swap the arms as your right leg crosses behind your left thigh. Tap your right toes. Come back up, ground down, weight heavy into that left leg as your right knee becomes weightless. And then switch, Shiva squat. And then let's come back up to stand, right foot next to the left. Sweep the arms up, hands to heart center. Okay, that's a really great exercise that you could just do throughout the day if you want to practice getting on that balancing leg and kind of going from a bent knee to a straight knee. Now from here, you're probably still facing the front of your mat. If not, you could turn that way. We're going to take this into a lunge. So starting with chair pose, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, come to Utkatasana. Belly button to spine, reach the arms high. Shift weight into your right foot, feel the surface area of that whole foot. We're just going to slide the left toes back, come to high lunge, weight in the center of your legs, shoulders over hips. This is Anjane Asana. From here, we're going to practice going from a straight knee from a bent knee to a straight knee. Hands to heart center, or if it helps you, sweep them all the way back. We're going to lean forward, similar to what you did with the blocks, when hands are in heart center. And then start to shift your knee over your toes, right knee over your toes. Let your left leg drag and then lift the left leg, almost like a warrior three with a bent knee. And then bring your left toes back down and come back to lunge. Okay, let's do that maybe 2 more times. So you're going to lean forward, knees over toes, and then start to lift your back leg. And then bring your left toes back down, come back to your lunge. We're going to do it one more time and maybe hold like a warrior three. So shift, knees over toes, look towards your right foot or the top edge of your mat, sweep your arms back, lift your left leg, maybe gradually straighten the right leg if you want to come to warrior three. Hips are square, belly button engaged, lengthen your spine so your low back doesn't crunch. And then let's bend the knees, left foot next to the right foot, sweep the arms up, hands to heart center. Okay, a little movement into the feet. So that right leg and glute is probably a little fatigued. You can move it around, bend the knees. We're going to do all that on the left, starting with chair pose. So feet hip distance. Look straight ahead. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Shift weight slowly into the left foot. And when you're ready, just start to slide the right toes along the floor until you come to high lunge, finding that nice wide stance. Take a moment to find your balance. We're going to work with that long spine. So you're going to lean forward, create a diagonal. Maybe you feel it from your fingers to your right heel. You could sweep the arms back or heart center, maybe heart center. And then we're going to shift our left knee past the left toes and rise the right leg any amount. It could even be an inch. And then come back to high lunge. And then you'll do that again. So we're just shifting weight forward into one leg and then back into 2 legs. This is going to be the last one. So shift weight forward into that left foot and then start to rise your right leg, maybe a little bit higher. Optional to straighten your left knee and come into warrior three. Arms wherever you'd like, heart center, forward or back. Square the hips, protect your lower back by squeezing your glutes. Lengthen your whole spine and then come to stand. Reach the arms up. Heart center. Okay, shake out the legs. We're going to start to bring it down a little bit. So we did really nice work balancing from one leg bent to straight. From here, I want us, you know what, let's actually do one more balance pose. I think we could do it with all that prep. We're going to do a straight leg warrior 3. So come with your right foot in the middle of your mat. Hands on your hips. Hips are square, shoulders are square to the front of the room. Think of your left leg as a kickstand, so you can kind of send it back so your toes are on the ground, but your left heel is popped up. And then again, maybe we start with hands at heart center, or if you prefer, reach your arms overhead. Imagine the block is in between your two palms. Pull your belly in and up. Start to firm in the hips and glutes. Rise your left toes off the ground any amount. So now you're on one leg. That standing leg is your right leg. And like a seesaw, you're going to lower your upper body as your left leg rises. Coming into warrior 3, hands wherever you want. Ideally, your right leg is straight the whole time. I think of squeezing my right quad and grounding into the whole entire foot. And then you're just going to reverse it to come back up to stand. Left foot to the ground. All right, we'll do the left side. So feel your left foot, maybe spread your toes and place them on the floor. Kickstand your right leg back so your right heel pops off the mat. Hands to heart center or reach them overhead. Pull your navel in. Engage your glutes and your low back. Lift your right toes a little bit off the ground so you're standing on one leg. Once you find your balance, so it could take you a moment here, then you're going to kind of seesaw, keeping the crown of your head in line with your right foot as you extend energetically forward and back at the same time. Your gaze is somewhere on the ground, just below your eye level. Hips square. Reaching forward through the crown, back through your right heel or toes. And then with a straight leg, come out of it, 2 feet on the ground. Bend, shake it out. Come to the top of your mat. We're going to take it down. Inhale, sweep the arms up when you get here. Exhale, dive forward, bend the knees. Take a little sway side to side. Grab opposite elbows. Release your lower back. We'll stay here for a little bit. And then switch the cross of your elbows. Take 2 more breaths. Keep the knees a little bit bent. You can widen your feet if that feels better. And then we're going to bring the hands to the floor. Step it back to plank, then downward dog. Let's take 2 breaths in down dog, really pushing through the arms, lengthening out your hamstrings. And then we're going to transition to a seat. So you could hop to a seat where you lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, cross your ankles under as you hop, and then send the legs forward. Or you could come through tabletop and then swing the legs around. And then from here, we're going to come lie down on the back. So you can roll all the way down. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side, starting to cool it down. And then from here, let's just circle the knees in opposite directions so that your hips get a little bit of love. And then reverse, go the other way. And then we're just gonna take a figure 4. So right ankle crosses by the left knee. Press your right knee away from you. Lift your left foot as you grab behind your left thigh. And you could think of pulling your left leg closer to you. And that left knee kind of drives into your right foot. And at the same time, you open your right knee away from you. Flexing both of your feet will activate this a little bit more. So I like to flex both feet here. And take 2 more breaths. And then we're going to release the left foot Release the right foot and then do your other side. Left heel or ankle crosses by your right knee. Press your left knee open and away, and then interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Figure 4, same thing on this side. Flex your feet. Every time you exhale, pull your right thigh closer to you and press your left knee away from you. And take 2 more breaths. And then start to release the right foot and then the left foot. And from here, we can just simply close it out, Baddha Konasana. So feet together, knees wide, hands on the hips, palms face your body. Just let the weight of your knees open your hips. And stay here for 4 breaths, in and out through the nose. Let your shoulders relax as well. And then from here, we're going to start to, you could stay where you are, or you could transition with the legs extended for Shavasana, palms face open. If you feel called to go to the wall and elevate your legs, you could put your heels up against the wall, or you could even just do this by sending the legs up in the air. It takes a little bit more effort without the wall there, but it could be nice to reverse the blood flow out of your feet and ankles until let all of that weight kind of just sink down into the hips and into the pelvis, into that nice root chakra. So you could take your Shavasana however feels good, with the option to elevate the legs in the air. And for the remainder of the time, I will leave you here. Give yourself the appropriate time that you need to cool down, to settle your mind, to bring your body back into homeostasis. And without any rush, enjoy the rest of your time in your Shavasana. And I will see you soon. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.